All yours.
Hello? I accept your surrender. Anyone else?
That was Chris Hemsworth reprising his role as Thor for the third time in Thor: The Dark World, the sequel to 2011's Thor, which was directed by Kenneth Branagh, who's kind of a Shakespearean art fag director from England, who did the 4-hour Hamlet and a bunch of other movies based on works by Shakespeare. And I was surprised at the great entertaining film he made with the first Thor. And this film is equally entertaining. This one's directed by Alan Taylor, I believe. I looked up his name. A guy who's mostly done TV shows, but some damn fine television. Any highly acclaimed cable series he's been involved in. He did 6 episodes of Game of Thrones, a couple Boardwalk Empires, several Sopranos, Sex and the City. Just, if it's on cable, he directed it. And he does a decent job here. Natalie Portman returns, Anthony Hopkins, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Stringer Bell returns as the gatekeeper to Asgard, or whatever he's supposed to be. I don't know the mythos behind the whole Thor thing. As a kid, I did collect comics, but Thor was a boring one to me, and I never got it. But surprisingly, Thor is turning out to be like the best comic book movie series, in my opinion. Again, I really enjoyed Thor, and I enjoyed this one equally. Mostly because it looks so goddamn magnificent. The CGI is really good and seamless. And the costumes are great. This movie really could have and should have won Best Costume Design. Look at Stringer Bell there in his gatekeeper outfit. I mean, just awesome helmets and chainmail and just really cool outfits. And the bad guys this time around are these elves from the Dark World, and they're creepy looking, and then they got these masks that they put on that make them even creepier looking. And, you know, there's a cute little romance again with Natalie Portman and Chris Hemsworth. Let's take a look at this scene.
Sorry, I just needed to make sure you were real. It's been a very strange day.
Oh, yeah. James.
Where were you?
Where were you? Heimdall could not see you.
I was right here where you left me. I was waiting, and then I was crying, and then I went out looking for you. You said you were coming back.
I know, but the Bifrost was destroyed. The 9 realms erupted into chaos. Wars were raging, marauders were pillaging. I had to put an end to the slaughter.
As excuses go, it's not terrible.
I have some cute dialogue, and again, it's got a little tongue-in-cheek humor, a nice little humor to keep it from just being bogged down in monotonous action. Overall, the CGI is really great. The sets are great. It's just an amazing-looking film, and that's why this movie gets thumbs up from me. I'll give it 3 stars, which I'll also give to the first Thor. These spaceships look cool. The elves look cool. Everything looks cool. The story has something to do with some ether that can destroy the universe and turn it back to the dark world that was originally the world that the elves inhabited, and a bunch of other gobbledygook bullshit that nobody but super nerds cares about. But it looks good, and it really doesn't matter. It's just a fun little movie. The third act kind of gets monotonous, just throwing his hammer around at guys and crashing into shit. And that's how I felt with the third movie. I kind of was on board for the first 2/3, and by the last third, I was over it. But highly enjoyable. As far as comic book adaptation films go, these movies are at the top. I hated the Avengers, don't even get me started, and these are so much better. I don't get why the critics and people love the Avengers. I thought it was fucking boring and stupid. I love Spider-Man 2, but 1 was just okay and 3 was barely watchable. I really like Richard Donner's first 2 Supermen, but I gotta say, this rates right up there with those. So, as far as comic book movies go, Thor, Dark World, just as good as Thor. If you like Thor, you'll like this. If you didn't like Thor, you probably won't. Until next time, thanks for joining me on the Kris Kondrad Movie Review Show.